Hey there guys, welcome back, Ricky here. Okay, so this question here is by Ivan Maholik. It's a question regarding your list of budget stones. Is it the same for higher, lower grits? I mean, is the Trocera 3000 still better than Suihiro 3000? And by how much? I'm looking for a slightly higher grit because I plan to sharpen my knife weekly, so there is no need for a 1000. Keep up the awesome work. I'm sorry for bad English. It's not bad, Ivan. My reading is just bad. So the question is really maintaining your knife with a 3000 grit stone, which is fine. So the question is, how much better is a Trocera 3000 than the Suihiro 3000? Okay, so the Trocera 3000 is, to me, one of the best stones you can use to sharpen and to polish your knife with. More of a polishing stone, but it's one of the very few polishing stones that can actually be used as a sharpening stone as well, and definitely good enough for a daily maintenance stone, weekly maintenance stone. And the question is it better than the Suihiro 3000? The sharpness of your knife has everything to do with you and your own skills. So I always want to stress the fact that you need to hone your skills to buy very expensive product, and that's because you guys have seen me sharpen knives on bricks that have gotten pretty. Some people will say razor sharp, which I would agree that the knives do get fairly sharp on a brick. You know, you don't really have to have the best tool out there to get sharp knives. The good stones and good knives will definitely be more enjoyable to use in the long run, that is for sure. But in terms of your daily maintenance stone or your weekly maintenance stone, it doesn't really matter which stone you go with. Go with the one that you can afford. That's always my first advice to you. Go with the best you can afford. So if the best stone you can afford is the Trocera 3000, go for that. Between the two stones, I mean, it really depends on what you like. They are both great stones. You really can't go wrong with either. If I had to pick one stone just off the top, just from experience, I would say the Trocera 3000 would be my pick because I've used it a lot now, and it's a stone that has never let me down. In this case, really honestly, go with the stone that you can afford, and don't listen to my advice, you know, on everything, because there are plenty of people who have very good advice, who have a lot more experience than I do. Your second comment about not needing a 1000 grit stone, that might be true in the short term, but after a little while, I don't know exactly how long, depending on the hardness of your knife and depending on your sharpening habits, a 1000 grit whetstone is definitely something that you should consider. If not a 1000, get something a little bit coarser, like a 400 or 500 for your correcting. You know, you will need to flatten the knife at some point, probably a few years down the road, but also depends on how often you sharpen your knife. If you sharpen your knife once a week and you do a very good job of just polishing it with the 3000, you probably can last for a few years. But if you have a softer steel knife, or if your knife gets damaged in between now and the next year, you might need a slightly coarser stone for correcting the chips or any cracks that develop on the cutting edge. So consider a coarser stone. A 320, a 400, a 500 will do. Alright, so Ivan, thank you for the question. So the next question here is from YouTube, bname 0207. That's an interesting one. So question, I want to purchase a 3000 grit whetstone. Your stone of choice is the Trocera 3000. When I went to purchase this stone on Amazon, there were a few users' comments regarding this stone cracking. Do you have any comments regarding this stone cracking? Do you have any other choices for a 3000 grit stone? A splash and go would be preferred. This is John from Huntington Beach, and you and I have corresponded on Etsy, and I purchased some straps from your Etsy site. Okay, well, John, thank you very much. Okay, so the first question regarding the Trocera 3000, I've shown you guys my Trocera 3000, which has gotten over 5 dozen sharpening sessions on it. It has 0 cracks, and I have shown you guys in video what it looks like. My stone is perfectly flat and perfectly intact, zero scratches on it. I've had, at this point, maybe 3 or 4 people on my YouTube channel that have complained about their stones cracking. I have no idea why. I think 1 or 2 of them actually admitted that they've actually soaked their stones, prolonged soaking of their stones. So that could be the issue that these other people are experiencing. But from my own personal experience, I've had 0 cracking issues with all of my Troceras. And I have the Trocera 400, 1000, 800, 3000, 5000, 8000, or 10,000. And none of them have developed cracks at all. And I use them pretty extensively. So John, I don't know, if that's enough for you to go out and buy Trocera, but in my personal opinion, I have never had any cracking issues on my Chaucera. The next Splash and Go stone that I would recommend is look at the Sharpening Glass 3000. The Sharpening Glass 3000 is really nice. I mean, it's a really nice buttery smooth stone, and definitely has a nice polish to it. Very stiff, not very stiff, very hard, very dense, and definitely slow to wear. And it's a stone that I definitely can recommend you. I've used it maybe I would say half a dozen times at this point. So I like it a lot. The other stone that you may want to look at is some of the Suihiro Dabado stones, or Dabado stones, which I will leave linked in the video description to my kit list. You can see it there. Dabado stones are really nice. They have a brand new series. The Dabado is a brand new series of stones in the Suihiro lineup, and definitely up there in terms of quality as the Chauceras and the Sharpening Glass stones. So look at those. Again, I'll leave them linked in the video description. But you know, to your main question as the Chaucera cracking issue, there I have experienced none, and I've only got like actual 2 videos or 2 photos of people who have shown me their Chaucera stones with cracks on them, and they both admitted that they soaked their stones in water for a prolonged period of time. So John, I think you'll be okay buying a Chaucera 3000. Cubes and stuff. And so the question is, what stone do you recommend to sharpen and polish 66 Rockwell knife like the Miyabi 5000 MCD 67? That's the black wood, or the black, Miyabi black. With the Chaucera 800 and 3000 work here, I love for the stone to be a Splash and Go. Okay, so I have sharpened a HAP 40 steel on the Chaucera 3000. I mean Chaucera 800 and 3000. And they actually worked really well. So I was able to develop a burr on both sides of the knives within 3 to 4 passes. Most knives that I've sharpened up to a 63 Rockwell will develop a burr within 2 passes. And so yeah, and so for me, from experience, I can tell you that the Miyabi Black can be sharpened on the Chaucera 800 and the 3000. I have not tested any other stones yet. I have not tested any of the new Dabado stones from Suihiro. I have not tested the Sharpening Glass stones. I have done Sharpening Pro, and Sharpening Pro are a little too soft for knives heat treated over a 64, 63, 64. 66, I did try the HAP 40 steel on the Sharpening Pro 1000 and the 5000, and it took forever for the 1000 to develop a nice even burr on that knife. So I don't recommend the Sharpening Pro 1000 for anything over, again, 63 or really 62. That's really the max of that steel that I feel comfortable with. Or max of that stone that I feel comfortable with. Yeah, so to answer your question, the Chaucera 800 and 3000 will definitely be able to sharpen the 66 Rockwell knives. Your experience is definitely going to play a big role into, you know, as to how well that knife will sharpen on that stone. But from a technical standpoint, from a raw performance standpoint, your Chaucera should be able to handle a 66 Rockwell knife. Okay. If you like this format, please give the video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments that you appreciate it. If you want your questions answered in this video or one of these videos here, just leave a question in the comments section with the word question either in the front or at the end of the comment. You see exactly how I search for these comments. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy my content. And for those who want to be updated on all the new videos, please enable notifications. I have new videos coming out every single week. And for those who are curious what my latest recommendations for knives, whetstones, and sharpening accessories are, I will leave a link in the video description to my kit list. And in that kit list, you will see all of the knives that I use, recommend, and everything that I use here in my studio. You will also see a link to my e-store where you can pick up handmade straps that are made by yours truly. Alright, well thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you in the next video.